this is something that I think everybody should hear, because I am going to try to explain a breakthrough that I am having that is unfolding in real time about my relationship to complaining and my relationship to suffering and how that robs me of happiness. And here's what happened this morning. I woke up and I felt this incredible flood of happiness and joy and gratitude because all three of our kids are home. And nothing makes me happier than when Chris and I are here at home and all three kids are here and we as a family are together. And so I feel this wave of joy. And almost immediately, a second wave came and washed over the joy and just washed it right out. And the wave that came over me was sadness and grief that they were going to be leaving in 3 or 4 days. I just felt this like heartbreak hit.
That wasn't even happening in the moment.
No.
Right. Anticipatory heartbreak.
And they just got here. Yeah.
And they just got here.
Right.
And it was so acute. And so I laid there for a minute and I thought, holy cow, why am I sad? I mean, they're here. And then, of course, I rolled over to kind of explain this to Chris, and he had been up for 2 hours. So there, the bed was empty. And I get up, I brush my teeth. I'm kind of thinking about this. And then I get a text from you, Amy. And every morning, Amy pulls a card for me. And if you don't know what pulling a card is, you will, because we are going to lean into this at the Mel Robbins Podcast. She pulls a card, and it's a mindfulness practice. It's a way to get guidance from the universe, from universal truth. It's a way to tap into faith and magic in your life. And so I've become basically addicted to checking my phone after my morning routine and seeing what card Amy has pulled for me. And so Amy has a gift, because every damn time you pull a card, it's like some portal opens up and I am hit with divine wisdom. Don't you feel that way, Jessie?
And I don't even tell her.
What do you mean you don't even
she
tell
doesn't
her?
even need to know what's going on. She just gets the right card that is exactly what you need.
Yes. So here I am in this inquiry with myself about joy, grief, happiness, sadness, love, and loss, like just in it with myself. And so I check my phone, and Amy has pulled a card for me, and she has texted me the card, and she has texted me the description of what it was. And one of the things that I love about you, Amy, is that you not only text the card, but my favorite part is not the card. My favorite part is your enthusiasm about the card that you have pulled, right, Jessie?
Yep. And how you spit it back out to us.
Yes. Like she literally goes, "This is your card, baby. Get ready for this incredible message." And then she goes, "This is the card you and I pulled back in July." I'm like, how the hell do you remember this?
I do. Well, because number one, this card feels like I feel like there's a very strong connection to you and this card for a lot of different reasons. But you did get this card in July, but then you got it again when we were doing another reading for you, a past, present, future reading. And this was your future card. So this is always where you're going and where you are if you allow all of that like negative shit to go by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you
anyway.
wrote, "I consider it the Mel card."
Yeah.
And then you told me the message, and the card is the Garden of Venus. Why don't you tell me what this card means? Like, what does this card
This card
mean?
has really deep meaning. And so immediately when I saw it, when you do these oracle cards, when you pull them for yourself or for other people, first of all, I get very much into your energy, and I ask for your guidance to come through.
Okay.
Not my own guidance, just for you. And so then you just kind of like let your senses take over. And the very first thing I saw was that there is a heart on this card, that might not be seen by everyone. It's not the first thing that would jump out to everyone, but there is a heart on this card.
Yeah,
and
because it's a picture, guys. Garden of Venus, beautiful garden. In the center is a huge white glowing opening.
Yeah.
And that's what I looked at. I didn't even notice that there was a heart on that card.
Yeah, well, that's really positive that you looked at that white opening, because that is what's happening. There's like a big opening for you happening right now. So anyway, this card is about a bunch of different things, as these cards always are. And whenever you pull them, there's always a different message. But for me, immediately that message of just love and happiness and rest and enjoying what you've created came through for me. That's how I immediately felt for you. The description talks, however, about something that I think is really important, that maybe is what you latched onto. You want me to read it so that you can?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could read it for everybody.
There is a part, it talks about the sword and the mirror. I'll just kind of summarize it really quickly. The sword is you always needing to defend yourself, your point of view, your judgments, the way you are. That's the sword. It's like you're constantly in battle with yourself, with other people, with society, with money, with, whatever it is. Like you're just always defending. And that's, I think a lot of us have that natural posture in life. Just back off or don't hurt me.
Or how hard things are, gripping or fighting.
It's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Fighting. All of that. And it asks you to put down the sword and pick up the mirror and look at the beauty that you are, the natural state of who you are. And that's what we kind of talked about in this text chain that we had this morning. Like, this is your natural state of beauty and peace and love. And when you're so worried about what the sword's doing, you don't take time to accept that about yourself.
What I got in this moment, hearing you say that, is that the constant fighting with myself or fighting against the way things are, the way that they should be, is robbing me of this experience of love and happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I wanted to share with both of you and with you listening to us right now is that I had this insane breakthrough this morning. And I've been working on this breakthrough for 2 years because, in the middle of, the big kind of sea, I don't even want to say the word anymore, that
Right.
where we were all, locked up in our homes, I just had a reckoning with myself in front of a mirror. And I looked at myself and was like, you're miserable. And the harder you work and the busier you get, the more unhappy you are. And you've got to start to take your happiness seriously, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to figure out how to be happy. And that might come as a surprise, for you to hear as you're listening to Amy and Jesse and I talk to you, that I, at a baseline, was not a content or happy person. And Chris would always say to me, God, you're always like focused on what's wrong. It's never enough. It's never this. And I would reject that. Full stop. I'd be like, no, I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm a really grateful person, which I am. Mm-hmm. I'm a really positive person, which I am. I'm a really like, I have happy times. I am like, I'm not always, I couldn't even see it. Yeah. And so here's the major breakthrough I had this morning around waking up and having a wave of joy because all 3 kids are home and our family's together. Then it immediately being wiped away by grief and loss and fear and upset that, oh, no, they're going to leave. Mm-hmm. The mirror and my true nature is the love and the joy. And the second that the gripping and the fear and but they're leaving and the this and the that, that's me picking up the sword. And I had this realization that, oh my God, I don't even realize how much I'm battling happiness inside myself. It's like this campaign and this campaign of misery. Like I pick up the sword, I start wielding it, and I'm fighting for misery.
Yeah. And there's always, when you have a sword in your hand, there's always something to fight.
Yes. And here's the thing. When I'm thinking about the kids leaving in 4 days, I'm not actually experiencing them being here.
No.
Right.
Right.
And then they're going to leave, and then I'm going to be thinking about when they come back.
You're not present
And
to
I'm not
the joy.
present to the joy.
Yeah,
so I'm experiencing it on the surface. We laugh, we dance, we do this.
Yeah.
But deep down, I am engaged in a campaign of misery. And I think it's because my mom is always focused on like what's not working. And she has bursts of happiness, and I so like want her to be happy. And there's always something wrong. And it's as if I learned to speak both English, and I also learned to pick up the sword and look for what's wrong. And what I'm learning as I work on myself is I'm learning that that's not the language that I want to speak anymore. That thing, that the complaining that I heard, or the griping or the upset or the sadness or whatever it was, that constant campaign, that pick up the sword, don't get too happy, something's wrong, you want to go out to dinner, but I want to cook something. I can see you getting emotional, Jesse. What's going on?
It was the 2 languages that you just said.
Yeah.
You just battle all the time with it. I get it.
Yeah.
That
and when
hit home.
I think we should call it the mother tongue.
Yeah.
That is the truth. Because to talk to your mom, you had to speak her language of, isn't this horrible? Look at your
Yes.
father. Oh my God. Prices have risen again. Can you believe? My mom would always say, holidays are women killers. I know. So she said that.
Wow.
She said and I had to kind of embrace that. And
Well,
Jesse and I were
did you also like go to the like, okay, I'm going to try to fix it. I'll try to make you happy. I'll try to.
Sure. It's our duty to fix it. We don't know any better as little kids. That's what we think. It's our duty to fix it. So pick up the baby sword.
And to fix it, you say, yeah, it is terrible.
It
Mom.
is terrible.
It is so, can you believe that?
Yes, because that was something that I always did too, and maybe you guys did. I never wanted to betray my mother's sense of safety in the world and like have her feel unstable and have her take that out on me. So it was like I was always agreeing with the crazy that came out of her mouth. Like
Keep
I was
the peace.
keeping the peace. Oh yeah, and part of it, like Mel, when you say the mother tongue, part of it is that you it really was a language that you spoke and you didn't know any better. It wasn't like you were pretending. Like
Right.
you literally did not know
No.
any different.
Well, and same with her. Like my mom did not grow up in a loving household.
Right.
It was a super hardworking farming family. And, you know, I'm of course feeling terrified that when my mother listens to this, she's going to be super pissed off at me. And so I still have to say this because I don't want complaining or being present to what's wrong to rob me of experiences of joy. I do not want to be sitting here in my life right now where I can look in the mirror and I can experience these next 4 days. And instead, what the old me would do is I would be already in my head, living in the reality that they're leaving and telling myself a story. We don't live near our kids and I'm never going to see them again and something's wrong here. And I would bring that energy into my day-to-day life. And I don't want to do that. Like, I want to put the sword down. I want to experience my life day to day and not be searching for what's wrong and not be engaged in my own private campaign of, you know, this isn't happening this way and that is. And like, even right now, like we're recording this profound conversation and Eric and Brian are banging nails on the shed outside.
We're banging it out up
Yeah,
here.
we're banging it out up here. You know, like
thinking.
there's my mind searching for, oh, well, this, stop it, Mel.
Right.
Stop it, because you may not have realized that it was a second language that you're constantly speaking. Just like if your primary language that was spoken in your house was Spanish or it was Russian, you speak that fluently. And then if you, like, I feel like all of us have a verbal language and we have a subconscious emotional language. And I was sharing this breakthrough with Chris this morning. So he said this to me. He said, you know, so are you saying that in public you're a very happy, positive person, but in private you're sad and miserable? I'm like, no, it's way deeper than that. on the surface, I speak English. And I am a happy, positive, optimistic person. Because I am.
Yeah.
But deep down in the depths of my subconscious, there is another language that I am speaking. And I've labeled it a campaign of misery. And even if you don't identify with this notion of looking for what's wrong or arguing against your own happiness, everybody can relate to this idea that, you know, as you're ready to go on vacation and you're at work, you're thinking about vacation. As you're on vacation, what are you thinking about? Getting back to work.
Back to work.
Right. And for me, that sort of internal, always on subconscious emotional dialogue is to search for something that is wrong right now or is about to go wrong. And in this moment, there is nothing wrong. In fact, I am living my greatest day ever because I'm here with you two, who I love. We are doing work that makes an impact that we fucking love.
Yeah.
Downstairs, I hear the voices of the people I love the most, and we're all together for 3 or 4 delicious days. And happiness and contentment requires you to look in the mirror and be where your feet are and let that joy and happiness flood in and not pick up the sword and gut the happiness by going, but this, but the rest, but the reservation, but they're running late, but the traffic, but this, but they're leaving, but someone's like,
Yeah. If you're always looking for something wrong, you'll find it.
yeah. And I never realized the extent to which that was my default.
Well, and also I want to say it is your default because it was what you needed to do, but it is not who you are, like at a soul level, right? It is not like truly who you are. It is just like that language, right?
Yeah.
Like when you say subconsciously, yes, that's true. You subconsciously you do that, but on a soul level, none of us are like that. Like we're all, this Garden of Venus state, which is like,
well, that's how we
joy,
were born.
peace. Yeah.
And that's who you
exactly.
are. You're
Yeah.
wired for joy. That's why you miss it.
Yeah.
You're wired for happiness. That's why you miss it. You're wired for connection. That's why you miss it when you don't have it. You're wired for love. That is your natural state. And, one other thing I want to say, because while it sounds like, oh, blame your parents, it's actually everything. It's what life does to you. It's the fact that as you go through life and you grow up, and especially, all 3 of us have survived childhood trauma. All 3 of us have, nervous systems that quickly jump to anxiety. All 3 of us anticipate what could go wrong as a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And most of our parents are wired that way too. And we have an opportunity, every single one of us, to break that chain of speaking at a default level to ourselves about what's wrong, about what's not working. We have the ability to separate the language you speak with your mouth from the one that you feel in your body at a subconscious level.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put it.
How are you going to do that now?
I have no fucking idea.
Well, like, how do you put down the sword?
Yeah.
Chris asked me the same question because I didn't put it in the language of the sword, but he's like, how are you going to change this? I'm like, I have been, first of all, I got to be nice to myself. And I've got to bring compassion both to me and anybody that is in my family or around me that engages unknowingly in their own campaign of misery. Secondly, I said to Chris this morning, I'm 54. It is as fluent inside of me as English. And I can learn a new language. But just like learning a new language requires you to practice it every day, and you'll slip into English if that's your default, or you slip into Russian or Spanish if that's your default, I got to make a commitment to myself to practice speaking and encoding and learning a different subconscious emotional language.
Yeah.
And that when I slip into the one that I learned and have practiced forever. It's an emotional, subconscious default that you have had since before you could put words together. You know, we learned this from Dr. Becky, that from 0 to 5, before you've got your own words and sentence structure and ability to truly describe the world around you, you are absorbing while your brain is in a theta state, which is a state of hyper learning, like a giant sponge. This is why little kids can learn a second language like that. You're always learning 2 languages when you're born. You're learning the one that's spoken out loud, and you're learning the emotional language that is deeper underneath it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, your question, Jesse, how am I going to, I have no fucking idea. I guess I'm going to write about it in my journal every day. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to catch those moments where the wave that is positive, that I feel myself picking up the sword and gunning it. You know, and I see it everywhere. I see it in work. I see it in, even with the podcast, you know, we came out of the gates and this has been so wildly successful and the downloads grow every day and it's just been extraordinary. And there's like, I instead of basking in, wow, like we're making a difference. This is resonating with people. I feel that. And then I see myself pick up the sword and I'm like,
Right.
it's temporary. It's luck. You're going to plummet off those. And then I'm like, ah.
Right.
And then I come from fear instead of coming from my natural state, which is I just want to have these conversations that allow us to share our lives with people and connect more deeply and that make a difference for all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you guys like, I mean, first of all, what resonates with you about the language you speak versus this second language that we all learn 2 languages from birth?
I feel that. And I've felt that. I call it like my tribe language of how my parents talk about, you know, the big things like money and relationships and big life events, like how they view them. I noticed years ago that if I'm going to live the life that I want, I need to leave this tribe, not speak this language anymore. Ooh. And I did a lot of research around that. And like, how do I do this? Because it's painful to extract yourself from this family, from your family.
Do you think that's what you experience? That is that sort of crunchy kind of thing that everybody has, even though you may love your family deeply, that there is still this sort of mismatch when you all get together because you're at different states of evolving and different states of, we all speak this language with words, but we are all engaged in learning a new language at a subconscious emotional level.
Yes. We've all moved on in some way, but we have our family roles, we have our common language, we have our tribal, you know, and I say tribal in the sense that like any group of 3 people that get together create a culture.
That's the Seth Godin research, right?
Right, exactly. So, I decided I don't want to do this anymore. I am grateful for it. You know, like Con Marie, like, thank you for the lessons I've learned. Yeah. And I'm moving on here. I'm making a conscious decision to move on.
Well, you know, what's also interesting is I think when you're present to it, Jesse and Amy, that, there's this thing I speak and then there's this thing I want to feel deeply.
Yeah.
And when you can get in touch with what is authentically who you are and what you want to feel, what I've noticed is I have a much easier time, not only with compassion and love, but with boundaries.
Yeah.
Because I don't get hooked.
Oh, yeah. The emotional hooking in that is, that's
a fluency, because if you've ever been around friends that are bilingual, so we have very close friends that she grew up in, her dad's from Jordan, her mom is French. And so she speaks fluent French and so does her husband, and the kids are bilingual, and we'll all be around them. And super close family friends. Hi, Mark and Maheen. What I've noticed is when they're all talking to us, it's all English. If they turn and say something to one another, they speak in French, because it's just like this thing. And I think emotionally, we hook into each other's emotional languages by default.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We got to turn this on because something just happened. I am going to try to explain a breakthrough that I am having that is unfolding in real time. That, oh my God, I don't even realize how much I'm battling happiness inside myself. It's like this campaign of misery.